In this video, we're going to be talking about Fortunas Finance. It's a gamified staking project on the Binance Smart Chain. We're going to take a look at the ins and outs of this project, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Eric here and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day and are doing well. Today we're taking a look at Fortunas Finance. I want to go through the ins and outs of this protocol, and the best way to do so is to go through their website and also go through their white paper. So the first thing we want to understand is what is this protocol and how to actually get involved, and why would you want to get involved in this one. So first off, we need to understand the difference between staking and the difference between rebase projects. This is not a rebase project, it's actually a staking project, and they're doing it in a way of a game, which is very interesting because it's not like you're just staking something and not having to do anything with this. You are actually having to come back to this platform on a daily or even on a weekly basis to make sure that you're earning the most of your rewards. So the way it works is that you actually have 6 options that you have to decide between. All 6 of these options, you can decide to be less active and be more passive, choosing a lower APY, or you can try and have the highest APY, but that is also going to require a lot more time. So if we take a look at this graph here, we have 6 options. We have just leaving your troops in the castle. That's going to generate you 150% APY. You can commit them to the emperor, which is going to be 520% APY. Now for those 2 basic options, you're not going to have to do anything. You can just leave your money in there and you're going to be earning that amount of APY. Now options 3 to 6 is where things get super interesting because we have different bosses offering different APYs. But to make it even more interesting, each of these different bosses or options, if we can call them that, have a different winning percentage because it is actually a battle versus this boss. And now to actually receive your staking rewards, you need to be able to win against that boss. And as I said, every single one of these bosses have a different winning percentage. Now, of course, if you're going with Hannibal, which gives you 137,000% APY, your winning chances are much smaller than if you're choosing to battle against Spartacus, which also makes sense because Spartacus, even though has a higher winning probability, also offers a much lower APY, which is one of the ways they are trying to make this sustainable. Now, if we talk about the winning percentages of each of these bosses, we have Spartacus offering a 75% chance of you winning that battle, and thus 75% chances of the times you're going to be getting your staking reward. Then Attila the Hun is a 50% chance of you winning, and as we see, there is less chance of you winning, but if you do win, your APY is higher. Then if we go to Alaric, we have a 20% of chance of winning, which again makes sense because the APY is going a lot higher, but your chances of winning are diminishing as well. And lastly, we have Hannibal offering a whopping 137% APY, but the chances of you winning that battle are only at 10%. So as we can see, you do have a strategy that you have to implement for yourself. You can decide to go with a higher winning percentage, but obviously you're going to have a lower APY, or vice versa. You could go with the lowest winning percentage and have a chance to get that crazy APY. Now, something else very interesting to know is that your winning percentage is actually going to increase over time, and this is another way they are trying to make this protocol sustainable. So after the first 3 days, your winning percentage is actually going to increase on a daily basis by 0.5%. So as we take a look at this, if we have Spartacus, we have a 75% chance of winning for the first 3 days. Well, after the first 3 days, your 4th day, you're actually going to have 75.5% chances of winning, and thus that is also increasing your APY. So in the case of Hannibal, you can definitely understand that it's going to take a lot longer for you to be staked in that battle with Hannibal for you to reach 100% chances of winning. And once you reach the 100% chance of winning, well, you've obviously maximized your APY. Now, to add a twist on this project, and this is where the gamified portion comes in, depending on your opponent, the person you've decided to battle against, you're going to need to provide rations to your troops in order to keep them healthy and in order to keep them in the fight. So after 3 days, you are going to have to provide rations to your troops in order to remain in that fight and in order to continue building up your winning percentage and in order to continue receiving those passive rewards. Now again, if you are just leaving your troops in a castle, you won't have to do that, but also your APY is only 150% rather than the potential 137,000%. Now, the way rations work is that you are actually going to be buying these rations with the Fortuna token, and all of the money that's spent on rations and on the Fortuna tokens for the rations is going to be burnt directly, which is awesome, which is obviously a way that they're trying to sustain this protocol. Now, you can buy rations for up to 5 days at a time, and this is where the gamified portion of this project comes in, because you are going to have to actively come in and out of this D-app and basically make sure that your troops have enough rations in order to continue increasing that winning percentage and also increasing that variable APY. And here we have the different breakdown for the amount of rations you're buying. It's essentially 0.25% of your staked Fortuna tokens and the rewards you're getting. So if you want to buy up to 5 days, you're going to have to pay 1.25% of your staked Fortuna plus the rewards you're getting. And that is going to leave your troops in the fight for another 5 days, also increasing your winning percentage as well as increasing your APY. So this is a very cool gamified portion of this protocol, and we're just gonna have to see how it all works out. But something else is that you can't earn endlessly, because once you have reached your maximum APY, if we have 100% chance of winning, the rations are actually going to increase by 12.5% on a daily basis. So at some point in time, you're going to be paying a lot more in rations and therefore in Fortuna's token rather than the amount you're getting passively from your APY. So at that point, you're going to have to withdraw from the battle and basically go back and restart the entire process. Now, if you aren't the patient person, they do also offer NFTs. They have 2 NFTs, which are going to allow you to boost your APY without waiting as long. So they do offer the heroes and they also offer the cavalry. Basically, the heroes are going to increase your chances of winning your rebases by 2 to 10% depending on which NFT you decide to buy, as well as the cavalry is going to increase your rebase percentage on a daily basis by over 1,000%. Again, depending on which one you buy, you get a different percent increase. Now, of course, you don't need to buy these NFTs. You can just wait out and play the game as you want. But if you want to accelerate the process, maybe one of these NFTs is for you. So now that we understand the gamified portion of this project and how it all works, if we go into the back end and understand what's happening here, it is entirely going to be dependent on volume, in my opinion. So here we see the trading fees, the trading taxes. We have 10% buy trading taxes as well as a 10% sell tax. Here we see where everything is going, and a cool thing is that the sell tax is also providing to the burn, which is great. As we know, all of the rations that are being bought on a daily basis are going towards the burn as well to try and make this protocol sustainable. And every time someone sells a Fortunas token, there's also a 2.5% that is going to the burn. Now, something very important to note here is that the Fortunas token is going to be paired with BUSD, which is great because it's not paired with BNB. So we have a stable asset and a volatile asset to try and mitigate the crazy fluctuations. Whereas if we had BNB and Fortunas, obviously if BNB goes down, well, Fortunas would have to go down with it as well. So that is one key aspect that I do like about this trading pair. And if we take a look at whether or not the team is KYC'd, whether or not there is an audit, the team is docs. We have Luke Tull, who is basically the family founder of this project. He is doxxed. He has done multiple AMAs on YouTube. Definitely recommend looking at those. And they also have an audit which was done by Spywolf. Yes, there is a lot of things that the owner can actually do. Have a look at these. This is obviously very similar to other projects. Usually owners have a lot of power within their own smart contracts, but in this case, at least we can be comfortable because we know who Luke is, and he is also publicly doxxed. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that if you are interested in this protocol, they are actually having their fair launch happen right now. It is ending on August 25th, and the way to participate, if you head on over to their Twitter and you go onto their official link here, it is on Gempad, and if we take a look at that, they have so far raised about 10% of their goal. They still have 3 days, so we're going to see how this plays out, but they are trying to raise 100,000 BUSD. So with all of that being said, that is your overview on Fortunas Finance. In my opinion, it is going to be volume dependent. We are still in a bear market, so we're just going to have to wait and see how this works. But I do think the idea behind it is quite clever. Bringing some gamified portions to a staking project is just awesome in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.